You think you know coffee? What if I told you the label on the bag is a map to its flavor? Some coffee from its birthplace in Ethiopia naturally tastes of blueberries. No added flavors. Kenyan coffee can have notes of blackcurrant, while some Indonesian beans taste earthy, like tobacco. This isn't magic, it's geography. The origin of a coffee bean is the biggest factor in how it tastes. In the next few minutes, we'll tour the bean belt and show you how to choose coffee by its origin. So, where does flavor begin? It starts here, in a narrow strip around the equator called the bean belt. Within this belt, each region has a unique environmental signature: the soil, climate, and altitude. This is terroir. Think of terroir as a recipe for flavor, with ingredients like sunlight, rain, and soil nutrients. Let's focus on altitude. Higher elevations mean slower growing beans, developing more complex sugars and acids. Conversely, lower altitude beans from places like Brazil mature faster, giving coffee with a heavier body and earthy flavors. Soil plays a huge part. The rich volcanic soil in Guatemala imparts a distinct richness to the beans. But the environment is only half the story. What happens after the coffee cherry is picked is just as important. This is where processing comes in. Whether a coffee is washed or natural can radically change its flavor. But how? Washed process. The fruit is scrubbed off before drying. Result: a clean flavor that highlights the bean's origin. Natural process. The whole cherry is dried with the bean inside. Result: the bean absorbs fruit sugars for a sweet cup. Okay, theory lesson over. Let's put this knowledge to the test and take a tasting tour. First stop, Africa. Remember that blueberry coffee? Ethiopian beans are often naturally processed, letting those fruity flavors soak in. Next door, Kenyan coffee is almost always washed. This gives a totally different profile: bright, citrusy, with a blackcurrant note. Now, across the Atlantic to Guatemala. Here, volcanic soil gives the coffee a full body and a touch of smoky spice. Finally, to Asia. Indonesian coffee from Sumatra is famous for its low acidity, full body, and deep earthy notes. So origin is everything, right? Well, almost. There are a few more layers to consider. First, the bean itself. Specialty coffee is usually Arabica, known for sweet, complex flavors. Robusta is bolder and stronger. This brings us to single-origin coffee. This means the beans come from one specific farm, showing that place's unique terroir. The alternative is a blend, where different origins are mixed for a consistent flavor. The first was the Mocha Java. So what is specialty coffee? It's a grade for the highest quality beans with a flavor signature tied directly to their terroir. Let's bring this all together. How do you use this information to find a coffee you'll love? If you love a bright, fruity cup, look for a high-altitude, washed-processed coffee from a region like Kenya or Costa Rica. If you prefer a smooth, rich brew with low acidity, look for a low-altitude coffee from a region like Sumatra or Brazil. Seeing natural Ethiopian on a bag is no longer just a name. You know it means terroir and processing that create that blueberry note. So, origin is more than a place on a map. It's a story of soil, sun, and human hands you can taste in every cup. Your coffee preference is your personal flavor map. Now you have the tools to read it and find new territories. The next time you're buying coffee, ignore the marketing. Flip the bag over, find the country of origin, and choose your next adventure. Ask in the comments, what's the most surprising flavor you've ever tasted in a coffee? Let's see what origins you've already found. Your perfect cup of coffee is out there. You just have to know where in the world to find it. End card with links to recommended single-origin coffees or further reading.